up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin. Welcome back,
right.
everybody. Good to see you, Sally.
You too, buddy. We were talking. Reggie was talking about Goodfellas, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yes.
And do you know Goodfellas did not win Best Picture that year or Best Director? Do you know who beat him out?
It's something that we're not talking about. No, it won, and no one talks about it anymore.
I mean, no, that's not necessarily true. It was at the time. I could see at the time. Now I could really piss me off because I'm a huge Goodfellas fan. But if you really look at it, there's Dances with Wolves.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
But it's such a big epic thing, and then you had to get
huge
Buffalo just to shoot certain shots. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I get it, but look, man.
but Goodfellas, yeah, come on.
Goodfellas is a classic, bro. Everyone's talking about Goodfellas. No one even mentions Dances with Wolves and Kevin Costner.
Right.
Gives a shit.
Right.
It's like,
no,
I think
Scorsese, man.
I saw that shit one time. I've seen Goodfellas like 10, 20 times.
I just
and I don't even know I don't even remember Dances with Wolves. I just remember Lemmings and being out in big landscapes. That's it. Fuck Dances with Wolves.
Lemmings.
Yeah, isn't there something with lemmings where they show
no wolves?
Lemmings?
There's the wolf and there's the buffalo. I don't know.
Yeah, but the wolves eat the lemmings, right? There was some scene with like the wolves catch these little furry thing.
I think that's Planet Earth. That was Planet Earth you're watching.
Yeah, I'm getting my nature shows mixed up.
Remember, like 10 years ago, I did this little sketch with Grant Lyon, and it was called The Podfather. And but the whole lot of it was the opening was all Goodfellas references. And here it is, the opening in my old Toyota that got destroyed once I moved down to this shit town. LA.
I was gonna say, this is Sal's old car. He doesn't even block out his license plate. It's his real license plate.
Go ahead. What are you gonna do? That ain't my plate no more.
Yeah, that's
I don't even have a car. So what are they gonna do?
Yeah, really. Okay.
All right. You hear it all right?
Yes. Wow, 2012.
There's me, Angelo, and this other guy.
What is that? Angelo, did I hit something?
The hell is that?
Is it a flat? No. What the hell? Pull over.
There we go. About to open up the trunk.
Damn, I wish the lighting was a little bit better though.
Well, it's because it's daytime.
Yeah.
And that's a story about how I lost my virginity last week.
You still podcasting?
Hey, I'm podcasting here, guys.
We run the podcast game in this town.
This podcast is at a service.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster.
All right, then here's the opening. This was the other part that's really cool. One shot.
The most popular podcast in town. Everybody wanted to be our guest. It was Sean, Babyface Spinelli.
KGV, como se va?
Kevin, Spud Chuck and O'Shea.
Whiskey.
It was Catherine, the Jew broad Heller.
You dumb dagos.
Jimmy, can't get laid Wiswell.
Hey, what the fuck?
There was Stax Patterson and Tommy 8 times. Who got that nickname because his daily masturbatory habits.
Joe Tobin.
8 times today, baby. 8 times.
And even the human laugh track.
Mary.
Who got that nickname? Well,
Anthony Hill.
we felt like kings. And one day it all came crashing down.
All right, there it is, dude.
Yo, props to my man Sal. That was awesome, man.
That was a
Yo,
good
you
one,
got
huh?
great vision, man. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah, I wish
do
something would have
remember that.
happened. Nothing ever happened with it. But
Oh,
yeah, we
that's all
had
right.
we wrote up like a 6-part thing, and that was the opening. And yeah, I thought it was strong. We took it to we did take it to Burr's people over down here, but yeah, it was, it's very it was a lot, very scripted and stuff at the time. It's nothing ever happened. But I really loved the doing those. They say holds up too.
Yeah, dude, they were great. And also, it's really cool to see you captured a lot of people who are a lot older now, right? That was a
Yeah. So
totally
those
different time,
moments, yeah.
right? You got Mary
All those
Van Noten
people.
there, you got Joe Tobin, you got Grant Lyon,
A lot of people, yeah.
yeah, you got Kevin O'Shea, OJ Patterson.
There's some people I acted with that I used. Like that's where I got people. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Greg Azadorian, right? Sitting over in the back. So yeah, man, that was great. You got good vision, man. I give you props for that. Shout out to Sal.
That was
having
it was
vision.
funny. My buddy had to do so. The one thing about that is you do the camera and he turns around, but there's mirrors behind the bar of the punchline. So like he had to like not see himself. Like he had to take himself out in post.
Oh, he did.
Because
Okay.
because like and then we had to like run behind him to get back to the other end of the bar, so we're still in the shot. Yeah, it was
and
that was a cool
good.
thing.
One shot, I see you.
No, that's how you make it look pro.
Yeah, one take Sal, I see you.
Yeah,
that was great,
get
man.
this shit over with.
I have to admit, man, I do feel some type of way that I never get a chance to be in these productions with you, right? Like I could have played the part of OJ, the OJ Patterson part. I mean, there's only one black
I don't know
dude in the
what
bar.
was going on at that time. Where were you?
I don't know. You were hanging out with Angelo,
or
bro.
something.
You were hanging out with
Too
Angelo. Actually,
busy
no, you know what?
working or
It was
something.
probably during the day and having a job.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, of course, because this is the only time I could get that.
Yeah,
that room, the club,
the punchline in San Francisco. So yeah, nice, man. That was good stuff.
Yeah, Reggie, that's it. What's going on? I was telling Reggie we need to get some guests on here. He said he's gonna get Festus Ezeli, no problem, right, Reg?
Oh my goodness, this guy. This guy, nothing is safe with
Sal. I mean, well, now before the season starts, did you see the Cavs just won the summer league, baby? I'm feeling pretty good about the Cavs there's 3-and-D players that were playing in the summer league. We have a couple now. We'll see what happens. One guy can threes. Amani Bates, he's catching buzz. Mobley's brother. We'll see.
Is that what we are resorting to now? Is a summer league?
Summer league champs.
Summer league champs. That's what we're hanging our hat on. Summer league, yeah.
So
hey man, look.
Yeah,
it's congrats to them for doing well, but we'll see what happens when season starts. But did you hear about what's happening in the NBA about the NBA Cup, like an in-season tournament?
I've heard about it. I don't know the rules about it, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's like an NBA. It's called the NBA Cup. It's the first year of it, and it's like in Europe they have the Champions Cup and the European Cup and whatever during the season. So it's a tournament within the regular season that starts at the beginning and I think goes to the All-Star break. And so I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the regular season games, or the first half of the regular season, relevant by having this tournament, right? Because everyone's always
sense.
Like, yeah, it makes sense because everyone.
I just think they should shorten the season, but that doesn't make them enough money. So
you can't shorten the season
because that helps save injuries and shit. But whatever.
Dude, what about all the old guys, the dudes that used to play 82 games a year all the time? Right? Injuries are part of it. Yeah, so you're saying that this generation is softer?
It also wasn't as hard. You didn't have to work. I mean, Bill Russell's amazing, but he didn't have to sprint down that court to catch up with them white boys.
That's funny.
He just I'm not going that far. He was the one who started the full court pass. You know that?
Yeah, no, I know. I saw the
fast break. The fast break.
I saw the documentary, which I thought was great. I think
there's a new one now about Wilt Chamberlain called Goliath, and I saw parts of it, and it was pretty cool.
Really? All right, I gotta see that one too.
Yeah, Wilt's the man, dude. Wilt's the man.
Wilt, hey man, he started off with the Globetrotters. They gave him $100,000 to start with the Globetrotters for a year. So he played with them for a year, and people thought he was kind of a clown or whatever. But then he came to the NBA, and it was a whole different thing. And he showed up. They had footage of Wilt against Bill, and I'm telling you right now, Bill couldn't do nothing with Wilt.
No, Wilt's huge. Wilt's way bigger than him. They had that. I saw some of that.
This is Bill Russell.
And Wilt was a little younger, little younger than.
Oh, he was
Bill
absolutely
Russell.
younger. He's a lot younger.
Yeah, but
Will came in at this like 7'1" or something like that. Bill Russell was like here at like
he's 6'11".
6'9".
Yeah, they're friends though. They're friends.
Yeah,
But,
they were, but still, hey man, Wilt was he was
Hmm.
something to reckon with. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I took this picture the other day. I saw our buddy. This is him. They're showing his video while his family's watching him. The King, LeBron James.
Okay.
And there's his two sons in the bottom left, and then his wife and his daughter.
Zuri.
And
Savannah.
yeah,
and
then
Zuri.
and then here, let's see, I got a little
Cleveland, this is for you.
got a little clip here.
Oh, this from the ESPYs?
From the ESPYs, I'm accepting.
Yeah,
That's record breaking.
everything on the floor. Today I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, today is not today.
He's coming back.
Yeah. Cleveland, I'm coming home.
Oh no. You know what's funny is that all the LeBron haters are like, the thing I didn't like about that speech is when he said, lucky for you guys. Nah, it ain't lucky for me. Lucky for you. I'm like, come on, man. Everybody at this level.
Yeah, get some guy some slack.
Yeah, no.
Man. Everybody hates him.
Everyone hates it. It's fine. It's whatever. He ain't tripping.
Because he's been the best. He's
For a
been
long
the best
time.
for 20 years, bro.
He's a billionaire, bro. Believe me, he is not worried about what anybody thinks of him. But this is the thing, and this is the thing that people don't know. Like the average person on the street who's never been around big time professionals, right? And I mean, and look, I'm not saying that I've had enormous amounts of access, but I do have friends in high places that have done things, and you and I both have had opportunities to be around people who've done some amazing things. And even in college, I got a chance to be around a lot of the pros. And the thing is, these guys have egos. There's no way that you get to that level to be that good, to be that for that long if you don't have an ego, right? Even the idea of becoming president of the United States, for a person to sit down and go, you know what? Yeah, I want to be the head person of the most powerful nation in the world. That's ego. Even if there's like, I'm doing this for you. No, you're doing this for yourself, right? Like you're doing it for us, the people. But to want that position, so there's always going to be a little bit of ego. These dudes never take, they never take a back seat to anyone, right?
Right,
So,
and well, that's okay.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I mean, people need to let that be.
Exactly. I'm like, Tom Brady has done it. Tiger Woods has done it. Lance Armstrong before he came
man,
out,
how many damn shitty Windows surfaces did Tom Brady break on the sidelines because he's so bad?
I'm like, dude, think about it. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, right? I'm the greatest of all time, right? Like that's just a part of it. That's a part of it. So, and I thought the speech was good overall. I was like, okay, all right, this dude's coming back.
Who the fuck is judging speeches? Who gives a shit? It made me chuckle, and I was, I knew he was coming back, but come on now.
And
let's LeBron has always been a little dramatic. He always adds some drama to the game, like his little tweets or his hidden little encrypted things, and like he's been doing. I've been watching the guy for 20 years.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him. I am not mad at him.
Yeah, I know how the man does his thing. That's cool.
All I know is that this dude, he'll be 39 in December, and he'll be in his 21st year. And this last season, he was 38 in his 20th season, and he was still top 10, top 15 players in the NBA.
People gonna argue all they want about the greatest of all time, but I'm pretty sure there's no way they could argue greatest career goes to LeBron. Overall career. Yeah. Because it's just been so healthy for so long. Broke the biggest record anyone ever thought would even be broken.
Right.
And you like a little more rings, but I mean, he went 8 times in a row. Like that had happened since all,
exactly.
When it was only Bill Russell and a bunch of white folk in Boston doing it.
8 straight appearances.
And like 16 teams or some shit. It wasn't even like a full league.
Right. He's got what? 10 appearances, 8 straight appearances, and he's the only player to have a championship with 3 different teams and have a finals MVP with 3 different teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
that's unheard of.
Exactly.
And I could argue all day, but
Yeah.
He
People can pick and
didn't have
choose.
the coaches. He didn't have a Phil Jackson.
Nope.
All
He
right.
didn't have a Phil Jackson or a Greg
He,
Pop.
no.
Right.
He had a whole lot of what?
He
And
took
then they're
David
like,
Blatt to the NBA
yeah,
finals. Who is
like
David
he lost
Blatt?
the finals. Like, man, you know how many he put those dudes on his back in 07, and they
Yeah.
defeated the NBA champ Pistons in the playoffs, and that's
Yep.
where the king was born. They say when Steve
Okay.
Kerr compared him to Jordan, he called it Jordan-esque that night during that game. Amazing, scored like 29 in a row at
Yeah, it was
at the end of
crazy.
the
It was
game.
crazy.
But then, then we got swept by the goddamn Spurs, which was
Well, yeah,
super
because the
team.
Spurs had a full team. The
Yeah,
Cavs only had
super
a
team.
player. They had they had 3 Hall of Famers, right? Tony
Yeah.
Parker, Tim Duncan, and Manu
Ginobili and
Ginobili.
Dunky.
Yeah, there was no way that team was going to beat that. There was no way that one player was going to beat that team, right? So, and he had a good showing, man. He did his thing in 07. He tried.
Yeah,
There wasn't
he
much he could
tried.
do.
He tried, but
I mean, he took.
I could run down his whole. It's like memory
absolutely.
lane.
Hey, dude, that team. He took Danielle Marshall, Boobie Gibson.
I don't even remember how.
Yeah, Eric Snow, Anderson Varejao, Sharonas Ilgauskas. I want to say Anthony Parker. No, was Anthony Parker on that team? Candace Parker's brother.
I don't know.
He took Mo Williams. Come on, man.
Mo Williams was later, but yeah.
Okay, no, Mo Williams was on that team.
Oh
too.
No, he was. That's right. He came back in the 2016
he came back later and got a championship. But dude, he took a bunch of dudes that you do not know, right? A bunch of guys that were in the league for like 5 years, except for like Danielle. I think Drew Gooden was on that team too. So yeah, man, the dude is legit, right? But yo, real quick, man, let's discuss this. So about maybe a week and a half ago, there was a young lady in Alabama named Carlee, right?
Oh boy. Now what's going on over there?
She was abducted, right? Abducted after seeing a toddler on the freeway and disappeared for a while. And then after, 3 days?
She
I think it was
home.
3 days. Huh?
Yeah, she came home after 3 days.
She walked home shoeless, right? I was watching one of the news reports or one of the police reports when they were talking about what happened. And they said that they traced, just for the record, I want everybody out here to listen. Hey, man, just because you delete your history, don't mean it's gone. Okay? Because
there's a lot of suspicious activity now.
Yes, they went through her phone and they looked at her searches. They went through and looked at what her searches were. And one of the searches was the movie Taken. And what was the other one? How to take money from a register and not get caught. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And she also searched one-way bus tickets from Birmingham to Memphis, right? And so it was like, okay, whatever. But then they also said a bunch of other stuff. They're like, we're not going to reveal, other things about her based on her privacy or whatever, to respect her privacy. But they also said that they traced the amount of time that she was on the phone with the 911 operator when she was talking to the 911 operator about seeing the toddler on the side of the freeway. From the time that she called and the time that she got off the phone, when they traced the amount of the distance that she had driven equivalent to 600 yards, which is equivalent to 6 football fields. So there's no way that you're on the phone watching a toddler and driving 600 yards because a toddler cannot go. And she was like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 or something like that. Like, so, hey, dude, investigative wise, all I'm saying, anybody out there, if you're trying to do some dumb shit, you may want to figure this shit out, right?
I knew it was a little strange when I was reading like her description, because like it was all like messed up about it. She's like, oh, I was kidnapped and I was held. But then like she said, like the guy was like, he was this redheaded, he's an orange-headed dude with a big bald spot on his head. I'm like, man, that's a very clown-looking like person. Like, they find that kind of weird-looking person pretty fast.
Exactly. Like, you let them abduct you? Oh, hell no. You can't have
like
different color hair.
Bald and Ronald McDonald.
And then she was like, and then they blindfolded me, and I think they stripped me naked and they took pictures, but I don't remember anything sexual happening. Like,
yeah.
Like, now look, hold up. Just for the record, when I first heard it, and I was like, yo, I said this to people around here. I was like, yo, if someone is so sinister, right? If they're so sinister that they would use a toddler or a child, a small child,
Right,
to
as
lure
bait.
somebody, to endanger a small child on the side of a freeway to get someone, whoever they get, you ain't gonna find that person again. Because a person who's that
Right.
wicked,
Right.
right, to endanger a child like that, yo, you ain't gonna never see whoever stops to get that person again. And then
Yeah, and I mean, you got to do probably better research than just a Google search a few days before about Taken, the movie,
about
and how to.
Taken, yes,
It's terrible, dude.
dude, it's terrible.
Why?
But
Why do people? Wow, it's like the Big Lebowski. She kidnapped herself.
yeah, basically, what I'm thinking too is there had to be, like, it wasn't a psychotic break, but she was having a mental breakdown on some level because it was too premeditated for it to be like a psychotic break. Like in the moment, like the lady at the airport. Remember that there was some video that went viral recently about a lady at an airport who was on a plane who just
There's so
went
many of
nuts.
those.
So yeah, no. But she was having, like, when I watched the video, I go, oh, this lady is having a psychotic break. Like at this moment,
Right.
she's
They're
lost
not all
complete
there.
control. Exactly. Now, if they search her phone and then they figure out 3 days prior to,
How
or 2
to
days
have
prior
a
to,
psychotic break on a
yeah,
plane.
how to appear like you're having a psychotic break. Well, you have to throw your arms in the air and act irrational and scream at the top of your lungs. Okay,
Oh, it's
there
funny.
you go. All right, this is premeditated. So,
That's funny.
but it sucks, man. It sucks because there are people, and it really bothers me because there are people who absolutely do get abducted. People who do go
Yeah, and
missing.
she's crying
right?
wolf, ruining it for everybody else.
She's crying wolf, and she's taking resources away from them looking for someone who's actually missing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you know something's off, right? Like something's
Right.
not right. But
Right.
we'll see how it plays
And I
out.
remember your boy Roy Wood shared it when she was first kidnapped. He's like, you're talking about trying to find her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's what it is.
She
right?
had us all, dude. She had us all.
It's a compelling story. Woman stops on the freeway to help a toddler and disappears. I mean,
And
we
you
never
don't
heard that
think,
shit before.
and she called 911, so you don't think, like, you don't think she would do that to fake it. But then once the details came out and the cops are, it's just wow. But hell, man, we had, what's his name, the Hollywood actor guy, had him get mugged in freezing ass Chicago, and they're like,
Well, exactly.
you walking around
Jesse
and
Sommier.
minus 20 degrees.
Yeah, it was two black Trump supporters. Wait. Slow down. What?
Yeah, you can't be dropping too many details like that.
Yeah, it was. I got abducted by two Trump supporters. Oh man, that's messed up. And they were black. Slow down. Hold up.
Slow down. Hold up.
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna need you to run that back. So what they sound like? Were they from Chicago? I think they were from Africa. The fuck? Wait,
African Trump supporters.
African Trump supporters, man, you reaching, dude. You reaching. Yeah. And then they put a noose around my neck and set me on the curb and called me the N-word. Really? Africans? I don't know if they really care too much about
that's not cool,
nooses.
because then if someone does that, someone actually does that to you or somebody, and then like you can't get as much, people won't even listen maybe because people got faked too many times.
Like,
it's
a copycat. It's a copycat.
Yeah,
So,
like why? I don't get, like, I don't know. I could see, like, if I don't know, people want to shake things up, get attention somehow, but then to go to that level where other people like you will be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. People go to extreme lengths to get attention, man, to get noticed. It's sad. But I mean, we see it every day. That's the success of YouTube right now and TikTok, is everyone trying to, like, hey, look at me. I can do a thing. I'm funny. I'm comical. And watch, I can walk into a poll and look, I've caught a video. And dude, we live in a world now where the word influencer is real, right? And people get paid. All you need is one of these, right? One of these and a personality, and it's like, and you too could be famous. Oh, it's like, yo, no, you can't.
There was something. So speaking of TikTok, we've got a lot of hate recently. You do realize, like, how racist America is. Anything racial blows up on there, and it's mostly because people who disagree with you.
Yes. I think that everyone should get along. Boo. Black people and white people. It's not in our genetic makeup. We're different. Even if you look at people, like if you scratch a black person, they're just black all the way to the bone. Like,
Right,
what?
right,
Shut your
right.
ass up. Right?
Okay, so this is what you put this up. I guess I should find the clip. I could just play a clip. So, but
I put this up. I posted something.
no, you didn't post it. I posted it. You were talking about a clip, and it's always, I love how like always white people out there to let you
So they were
know
going at
if
me on this
something's
one?
racist or not. No, they're going after, it was your Winn-Dixie thing. So they're going after that.
Winn-Dixie, and people are like,
you
it's
pissed some
just the
people off
name
with
of a
that.
store.
Yeah, you already know. You already
Yeah.
know.
It's
That's
just
another
the
thing.
name.
They're so goddamn predictable.
People aren't very bright. People aren't very bright. Not our
No.
audience. Our audience is very bright. Thank you for
Oh,
listening, guys.
our audience
Thank you
is
for
great,
listening and
but
watching.
when you go off the rails and you go to the public and you're like, hey everybody, this is
It's
this is
subliminal
what,
messaging, folks.
this is
I'm
what
just
we
telling you.
posted. Yeah, they did not like that, Reg. All right,
I'm just
hold on.
saying.
Let me,
They don't like it because they can't handle the truth. This is A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. Right?
You want the truth? You can't handle the. Okay,
The truth
where
is we sit on that wall, right? Yeah, man, it's subliminal messaging. Winn-Dixie, come on, it's the South. And then they try to trick you by adding 2 N's to win. Shut your ass up. I don't know. It's supposed to be the owners was named Winn and Dixie, and it was the store.
Yeah. So yeah, the owners were like Win and Love It. And
how come they didn't call it Love It?
Win and Love It Home Stores. That's what I said. I go, well, they call it Love It Home Stores then.
Yeah, call it Love It Home Stores, but no, they went with Dixie.
Love It Stores. Yeah, exactly, dude. You fucking people are
I'm
so
not dumb,
annoying.
man. I'm like, yo, it's called reading between the lines. Subliminal messaging. But people aren't that bright, man. They don't like to think. They want everything to be surface value, like surface level. It's like, why you gotta take it to that level? How come it just can't be a commercial? How come it's because, man, if you pull the curtain back, there's a whole team of people that sits down and decides what demographic they're trying to target, what age group, what colors work for this demographic, what sponsors and what wording works, so that they can sell you shit or they can get to you in a certain way. So believe me, anybody who's ever taking marketing knows that nothing happens by coincidence. There's no, look, Best Buy and IKEA have the same colors. Why? Because those colors appeal to people. And you know what? With everything happening in the world, those 2 stores still thriving, even though the industry has changed so much. People aren't buying CDs and DVDs anymore, but Best Buy is still open. Right? Circuit City, gone. Good Guys, gone. Right? Gone. Kmart, gone. Right? It's like, yo, whatever, man. People, look, I can't educate everybody. It's like at some point you got to wake up and smell the coffee.
All right, well, I'm trying to find the clip. You know how I try and find it is by looking. Oh, here is our outfits. All right, so this is what you said, and this is only 30 seconds, and it's kind of funny that people just they just love to complain.
When I was growing up, we had Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, this is funny.
Which is, think about that shit. Think about the subliminal message of the grocery store called Winn-Dixie. It was WINN, right? They try to play it off with adding 2 N's.
That's so messed up.
It's so messed up. In the South, Winn-Dixie, like the Dixie represents the South, the Confederacy, Civil War.
That's like if we had like one now that was like Osama Bin Laden.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm gonna go to Bin Laden's and get some
exactly.
groceries.
Exactly.
That was it. All right. And it's funny to me because nobody complains about the Osama bin Laden line, which is probably the most offensive part of it.
He's dead. He's dead now. They don't care about him.
He's dead, and at least he wasn't black, right?
But
it's like, what the hell?
People in the South, man, they feel strongly about their heritage and their history. And the South, Dixie and the Confederacy represents more than just slavery. No, it absolutely represents slavery and a lifestyle. Plantations, owners, slaves, people of color being degraded, diminished, lower class citizens in society. That's exactly what it's about. So anybody who's fighting to maintain that historical heritage of the South, you're trying to maintain the historical heritage of demeaning and degrading an entire segment of society, right?
Right.
Based on their
right.
color. You want to go back. Okay, look, if you want to have plantations and you want to be owners and shit, then go back and do that shit, but just have white slaves. Do that shit, right? If you want all the house guests to be served by somebody else, go get white people to do that shit. Just don't get anybody brown. Don't get anybody brown, black, or Asian. Just if you want to go back to old South shit, fine. Do that shit to each other. Put white people out in them fields, let them pick that cotton, right? Let them be the butlers and the maids and make up the beds and let them breastfeed your babies and let them raise your kids. Let all the white people, if you want to have that whole society, fine. Go do that shit. Just make sure that all you motherfuckers look the same, right? Like, so, and then if you want to cut off somebody's foot because they tried to get away, fine, right? If you don't want one of them to date your daughter and you want to hang them, fine. Just make sure that they all look like you, right? Because we ain't taking that shit no more. And just for the record, I don't want anybody to get hung, lynched, maimed, or killed, right? Because I'm like, I just said some shit out loud about,
All right, so you say that video, right? And I guess
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but in the past month or so, something happened at a Winn-Dixie somewhere where a black woman was trying to purchase, I think, alcohol, but there was a guy with her, and one of them, and they were asking for an ID, and but I don't know. I think they asked the ID from the one, like, well, I need his ID too. Like, no, you don't. I'm buying it, blah, blah, blah. But I don't really know what had happened. I have no idea where this video is. Like, I look it up. You can't find Winn-Dixie races. There's too many. I don't know. I can't find it. So, but all these people started commenting. It had nothing to do with what, because we recorded this way before this ever happened. So someone they're like writing shit like, can you all tell me what the girl said that was racist? And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's tons of people
who've commented on this old video.
Yeah, nothing at all. Then someone else that they had to show ID to buy alcohol. How dare she? And so they're all just going up. So then so the store won't sell them alcohol because they won't show them their ID is racist, even though it's the law to sell alcohol with ID. That better. Like, they don't even talk in normal. It's so funny. The grammar's always fucked in this. Here comes another person. Ridiculous. The name Winn-Dixie came from Winn and Lovett's 1955 purchase of 117 Dixie Home Stores. And someone else wrote, exactly. These guys don't just sound dumb. They post this trash. And I wrote back, can somebody please explain to these Neanderthals what subliminal means?
Exactly.
And then
that's
this
all
guy
I'm
wrote
saying.
back, can someone explain to this clown what gaslighting means? How is that gaslighting?
Dude, look, I don't even gaslighting is this new term that's come up in the last couple of years.
Hey, Des, you got a sec? You want to do a quick cameo here? I'll ask Des if this is gaslighting.
Yeah, because I'm like, gaslighting is a word
We
that's
got
come up in the
accused of
last couple of years.
gaslighting on TikTok, so we have to see if this is gaslighting.
Well, no,
you don't have to be the face of gaslighting.
Yeah,
but...
I'm like, gaslighting is this term that's come up in the last couple of years where people are like, no, you're trying to turn it around and put it on me and make me feel like I'm the bad person or having some idea. Like,
okay,
hey,
so
what's
here
up,
Des.
I don't.
She doesn't. She's busy working.
No,
okay.
I don't want to be like the face of hi.
There you go. Good speaking there.
I want to be the face of like, if gaslighting, like what is gaslighting? What if I'm wrong?
You know more than us.
Every woman comes after me like she doesn't even know.
She doesn't even know. What's up, Des?
All right, so this is so we had this whole thing about Winn-Dixie, and Reggie said how subliminally, you're saying Winn-Dixie, and that's why it's from the South and it's racist, right?
Okay.
And people are like, no, it's because the company bought it was Dixie, and then they bought Winn, but they didn't call it Winn Lovett's. They had to call it Winn-Dixie. Anyway,
okay.
This person wrote that about where it came from, and those guys like, they're trash. And I'm like, can someone please explain these Neanderthals what subliminal means? Right. And this guy wrote
Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Set him off on a
I get him pissed. And then this guy goes, could someone explain to this clown what gaslighting means? So we're gaslighting the South, saying that this is a subliminal racist message or something.
This is why, okay, just on a quick, this is why nobody takes gaslighting seriously when women say it, because then they're like, they use it for everything. And so when women are actually going like, you're gaslighting me, then people are like, no, I'm not, because nobody knows what it actually means.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why I was scared to enter this room in the first place.
Okay.
But
So-
I don't
okay.
think that
I
it's
think-
gaslighting.
Yeah, this white dude is probably just using
Because
it.
gaslighting, I mean, you know where it came from. It's that movie where the guy, I forget what the movie's called, but the guy it was literally gas lamps, and the man was turning them lower every day, and the woman kept saying, the lights are getting lower or something like that. I might be a little, you guys should fact check this, but it's something with the lights. And she kept saying the lights are changing, they're getting lower. And he kept saying, no, they're not. And so she thought she was going crazy. So it was like he knew he was doing it, and he knew
He was
doing
actively deceiving her and then making her believe that she was the problem and not with his
So we're
actions.
actively deceiving people, trying to make them think that Winn-Dixie is so bad. Where it's just from your perspective, it's kind of fucked up.
I don't
Yes,
think that's
I'm saying,
gaslighting.
all I'm saying is that I lived growing up in the South, and I used to shop at a grocery store called Winn-Dixie. I didn't think much about it until I got older, and I was like, well, hold up. Based on the history of the South, right? Based on where it is and what Dixie means, the idea of Winn-Dixie sounds like a slogan to me. It sounds like Winn-Dixie.
It
because
is.
there was a whole war between the South and the North about differences of opinion and ideas, right?
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying, is that it's a subliminal message.
Yeah, and that is subliminal. I mean, that's literally the definition. So, someone explain to the Neanderthals. I was kidding.
Exactly. And hold
Yeah.
on, how about we take it a step further? It's not even subliminal. They actually just put it out.
You're saying
right?
it, yeah.
They're just saying it. So it's that thing of like, you ever hear that phrase of hiding in plain sight? You make it so obvious that it's almost like you look past it because you don't think of it. So it's both. It's subliminal and it's completely out there, right? So yeah, it's not gaslighting.
That's not
Jeez.
gaslighting.
That's
Well,
okay.
thank you,
You're
Dex.
right.
We appreciate
You're
it.
right. I was so nervous, and then especially the way it
Yeah,
started, I was like,
yeah.
I
No,
don't
thanks,
know if I
Des.
can speak on this, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good.
You guys
Thank
are
you.
clear of the gaslighting.
Yes, and now
We're
I
just
know what
trying to stay
gaslighting
up.
means. Now I know what gaslighting means. I didn't
I'll
know
have to look
fully
up the
before.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
I'm
tough
like,
because a lot of people will use it as like, oh, he's gaslighting me, and it's really, just a difference of opinion. But
right.
yeah, it is like if you
You
feel
are-
like
you
you're
are
going
actively-
crazy.
Yes, you are
Yeah.
actively doing a thing that affects me, but then pretending like you're not.
Yeah.
Right. So that I think that I'm the problem, when in actuality, you are the problem.
Yeah.
And you're causing the problem. Okay, that's it. It's
Totally.
funny how like gaslighting and then how they take things out of context and use them to their
Yeah, all the time.
advantage, right?
Uh-huh.
Like the fact that the word woke now is like,
yeah, and
it's like it's become like a catchphrase for the right to be like, and we're gonna stop this woke, this woke advancement on society. So you mean you're gonna stop people from being educated and learning about what's happening in the world at large?
They're
Like
trying.
learning the truth about history. And we got to talk about that one too, about Florida, the fact that they want to talk about, the slaves learned skills that they were able to take forward in their lives. Yeah, skills like resilience, right? Skills like perseverance, skills like how to take the worst parts of the food and make it into something. Like, yeah, okay. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
I won't
history.
crash anymore.
Oh, you're good.
Slavery
Thank you.
was good.
Of course.
The slaves were happy. They
Someone
loved
benefits
it.
from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You guys knew how to
benefited from 'em.
spice up slop.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they learned forgiveness. Look at all the forgiveness they learned. They haven't killed us yet. All their ancestors, they learned forgiveness. It's like, yo,
Patience.
yeah,
So much
really.
patience.
Yeah, we learned patience and forgiveness, right? Adaptation. Yeah, all this shit that you want to learn when you're forced to do something. Whatever. Man. All right.
So
Thanks,
bad.
Des. That was
Yeah.
great.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right.
Yo.
We do have some more comments here that and it's again white Linda and white I'm assuming Wendy's probably white. You know any black Wendy's?
Did I know a black Wendy? Maybe one. And she might have been mixed. I don't know.
So white Linda has it says Will Linda. So maybe I'm saying it wrong, but her picture is definitely white.
Okay.
But she goes, that's not how we got our name. It was a merger of stores and names. And I wrote, then why not call it Lovett Stores? Could have merged those two names instead. And then Wendy jumps in. Name recognition. It was already named Winn Lovett. Sincerely, why do you think Winn or Dixie is racist? Dixie was from the banknotes at the time. And I was like, maybe because Dixie also represented the Confederacy slave owning South.
Yes, thank you. People are so dumb. It's like, yo, I'm not literally saying, I know I'm literally saying that it feels like it's a subliminal message. It's very it's very out there, but it's also sending a little message. It's like a dog whistle. It's like a dog whistle. It's equivalent to Donald J at some point being like, what did he say? Back in the day, we would have done something, right? Like back in the day, this wouldn't have happened. Everybody was sitting there like, okay, we got to do something to this dude, right? And then people will call somebody. It's like,
who is this? Then you got the new that country singer talking about small towns. Was it Hillbilly Jim? Who is he?
And then I saw did you see it was Talib Kweli posted a video of a guy talking about it. It was really good. He was like, this country singer, he did a video in front of an old courthouse where they used to do public lynchings, but he didn't know, right?
Yeah.
He also part of the video is he does this and he goes, but it's like where they killed this person that did something else, but he didn't know, but it's a small town. And then dude just breaks it down. Like, yeah, you didn't know about all these different things, but you're still talking about in a small town, right? He's like, historically, people of color never felt comfortable in small towns. But I guess
who
you
did
didn't
this?
know that.
Who is the video?
It's Talib Kweli, and it's on.
How do you spell that?
Talib, Talib.
Oh yeah, Talib. And what's his last?
Kweli.
He shot the video in front of a famous lynching site in 1927 courthouse where a black man got lynched, and everybody knows that. But Jason didn't know. He said he didn't know that was a lynching site, or he wouldn't have shot there. He didn't know any better. Yeah, he chose to use BLM protests for images of don't try it in a small town, but he didn't know better that would send a message to black people. Jason Dean never heard of the green book that black people have to use to navigate through America safely because they're worried about lynching and being lynched in a small town and in America. He didn't know that. And Jason Dean didn't know that lynching and the history of small towns in black people and in America. He didn't know that there's sundown towns even today. Jason Aldean didn't know nothing. He just trying to make a song talking about don't try it in a small town. What are you really trying to say, Jason? Given the history of Southerners in small towns against black people, what the fuck are you trying to say? And I'm asking you because even today, most black folks don't feel safe in small towns. And there you are, a man who endured 58 people being murdered, 2-year crew member being shot in 2018 in Las Vegas. You witnessed Jason Aldean, the country music singer.
That's it.
Yeah, you didn't get the whole thing, but he kind of calls him out on it. I love it.
That's right. He was there during that shooting in Vegas, and he even he was like, oh yeah, we got to do something about that. And then he changed his tone. And then I heard also, he's from Macon, Georgia, a city of 150,000 people. And he's like, oh, small town, like just pretending, cosplaying as a small town guy, when in reality, he's just trying to get to that audience,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle, right? Those images and the words, it's a dog whistle to people who can hear that frequency, right? Like a dog.
And I like Sheryl
right?
Crow, I think, called them out. It was like, yeah, small towns are sick of violence too.
Yeah, exactly. But yo, what about Florida, man? In history, they trying to change the history classes,
critical race theory, and
critical. But look, okay, it's one thing if you say, look, we're just not going to teach about slavery to kids, right? If you say, all right, we're not going to teach about American history, all of it, I go, that's fucked up, right? But then to try to change the history and be like, oh yeah, no, this was good. They learned some great skills,
right?
Like, okay, well, under what circumstances, right? Like, yeah,
and even the whole like the don't say gay thing. At first, it was like, oh, it was just for elementary kids, and now they've bumped it to high school, and you know what I mean. Like, it's
Right.
like people who are actually having changes in puberty during those times at those ages. Now you're gonna not even let them speak about it in class.
Yeah, exactly. To talk about what they may be experiencing, and then you're just actively shutting people down again. This is the whole thing with this country. They love to just sweep everything under the rug. It's like, yo, how about we just actually deal with real shit, right?
Yeah,
How
don't
about we
pretend like it's
stop?
not there.
Yeah, how about we take off the blinders? Everyone stop self-medicating, put the bottle down, put the drugs down, right? Stop sweeping shit under the rug and fucking have a conversation. Let's talk about this shit. Right. But
Right.
to want to teach history that, you know, the slaves, they were happy and they learned marketable you know, they learned some very good skills. It's like, look, I'm not gonna say they didn't learn anything because they absolutely had to learn, but under what circumstances? Under what
Who teaches
circumstances?
that class? Kanye?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They learned under duress, they learned under necessity, right? They had no choice. It was either survive, either learn and survive, or die and be killed, right?
Right.
Have your family destroyed. You can't tell me that there's a situation where people are being sold, mothers taken away from children, fathers taken away from families, so that's something good and positive on any level. I don't care what they learned about farming, right? Or the best way to pick some shit. Families, culture, history was destroyed.
Right.
So the idea of like not talking about everything, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Before we
And
go,
it's
Reggie,
happening
see?
today. It's happening today
All
right
the time.
now. Right?
All the
It's happening
time.
all the time. Like this ain't crazy. This is like, hey, we're trying to advance. We're trying to evolve. We're trying to grow. Nah, we want to rewrite history. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, yo,
It's
man.
like that. It's like when like a little kid doesn't want to go and they just drop their legs. Like, no, I'm not coming with you. I'm not progressing
Exactly.
with you. It's like,
And then you
piss
sit
off.
there and you let them have the tantrum. Like, okay, go ahead and get through it.
Yeah.
I still
I
love
just,
you.
all right. I'm just
Go
gonna
ahead.
ignore you.
No, you can't ignore them. You can't ignore them. You can't ignore them. You got to sit, because if you ignore them, then they get worse.
All right. I see. Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
They
yeah.
get worse because then they start acting out more to try to get more attention.
I just
So
want to
you-
smack them.
You can feel that way, but you got to wait patiently and you say, okay, all right, are you ready now? All right, let's go. And then you show them that you love them, that you're there for them. And then you teach them how to manage their emotions and how to regulate that and how to discuss it and work through it so that they can be people who can actually have real conversations with each other and work through their problems, right? Because if you ignore them, then they get worse and they dig deeper. They're in holes and they keep digging. And they go,
That's
you know
true.
what? Yeah, it's like, I need to find somebody else. And they find other people in holes that are digging. Instead of trying to get out of the hole, they just keep digging deeper. And then they meet way down underneath in their little fucked up cavern of fucked up beliefs and ideas. And they fester and feed off each other. They live in their misery. Yes. And they feed off each other's misery. And they trauma bond. They trauma bond. They're like, oh, you hate that and I hate that. We hate together. We come together to hate, and no one's gonna ever change our mind, because you know what? We've dug this hole so deep and we're so far down that no one's gonna ever reach us. They forgot about us. They forgot about us, and we hate and we love to hate, and we're gonna keep hating, and we're gonna have kids down in this deep, dark, hateful hole, and we're gonna teach them to hate. And then one day we're gonna crawl out into the world and hate in public. And that's when Donald Trump showed up. He made us feel good about coming out of our deep, dark, hateful holes and hate it to the whole world.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. Hate in a hole. People
hate
dig
in
deeper.
a hole.
Hate in a hole.
Dark as my soul. I rather die than leave it alone.
Yes.
All right. See my new poster there, Reg?
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. They went and
I
saw the
see.
new one.
What
It's
was
the
it
only
called?
only time I've ever seen him in the Dial of Destiny. Only time I've seen him in the theater. Because I was like too
Really?
young for I was definitely
Right.
too young for the first two.
Okay.
And then the third one, I could have maybe, but I'm still a little young, and like my parents were going to go take me. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
Right.
did remember seeing Ninja Turtles the following year, but that's because I went with other kids. That movie was
Okay.
dope.
Okay. Nice.
But
Yeah, I
and
didn't
the
really get
last
to go to the
one,
movies.
but this one was better than the last one for sure.
Oh, good. The last one
Was whatever.
where the aliens came and the temple.
Yeah,
and
it's, you know, and that's what he supposedly wanted to do for Raiders of the Lost Ark was the aliens, and Spielberg was like, "No, George, we're not doing that." And then he finally got his wish for that one, and it was terrible. So,
okay, yeah, it's pretty. So, what'd you think? You enjoyed this one?
yeah, it was fun. It is what it is. It's an indie movie, and you know what is way better than the last one. It felt like more like simpler, like let's classic, go back to way what made us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
here's another thing about it, you know, I'm not trying to spoil anything, which you won't really.
Don't spoil anything.
I won't spoil anything, but you go back to the classic, who's the best villain in any Indiana Jones movie? The Nazis.
Oh yeah, yes, the Nazis. Yes,
you know,
you gotta go back to the Nazis.
That's you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and also in Last Crusade, and then of course now. But yeah, so it was
I'm glad they went back to the roots.
And it's cool because with indie, like every one of them, like the first two are in the early or the late 30s, and then the next one's in the 40s, and then the next one's in the 50s, and this one's the 60s. So, you know.
Okay. Oh, good.
I was like the period pieces, you know.
Well, you know, I've heard a couple things. I guess it's gotten some unfavorable reviews.
Of course, because it's a franchise thing and it's like the fifth one.
Right. And everyone's like, why did they didn't have, this movie did not need to be made.
Well, no, of course. None of them need.
None of them need to be made. But you know what? It's fun.
Right.
It's fun. I'm so sick of everybody being mad because they went to a movie and it didn't change their lives. It's
also like, why if they're like, this movie didn't need to be made, then why'd you go see it?
Yeah. Stay your ass at home, right? Like, I want to go. I like Indiana Jones. He was fun. I like his, you know, he's a archaeologist and he's looking for old artifacts and he has to traverse through things and there's stuff coming out in big boulders and spears and all kinds, and he's got to jump and figure out riddles and shit. It's fun. It's pure fun. It's fantasy fun. And these people are like, you know, your fantasy ain't that good. I don't like your fantasy. All right, well, how about this? Why don't you go write your own fantasy, film it, and then let us critique what we think of your ideas or your fantasy? You know, it's like I had a dream and I made a movie out of my dream. Man, your dream sucked. Right? It's like, dude, it's not real, man. It's fun. But, you know, whatever. Everyone's looking for everything to change their lives all the damn time, right?
Speaking of Harrison Ford,
I went to this restaurant that people talk about, and they said it was good, and I had the burger, and it was all right. Waste of time.
That's like when you see Yelp reviews, they always complain about the stupidest shit. I'm like,
yes,
shut up.
Like,
and a lot of times you're like, sounds like your fault, you idiot.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, if the burger wasn't that great, then just don't go back. Right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be. And then I went there and the burger was not as good as people said it was.
And the waitress looked at me funny and then turned away real quick. And then I was like, oh, shut up. Shut the fuck
and then
up.
I stormed out of there. I stormed out of there and I was like, I'll never go back there again. 1 star. Right?
Yeah.
Or
I wish I could give it less, but you can't.
No, here it is. I would have given this restaurant 5 stars because the food was actually pretty good. And the atmosphere was nice and the location and parking was really easy, but the waitress didn't fill my water up in time. So 1 star.
Right. Like if I feel like if I hear the food is good, that's all I care about. I don't care about your other bullshit. All right.
Yeah.
It's probably because you didn't know how to act in public.
Exactly.
My friend sent me this thing that Harrison Ford, The Doors in 1968 made a documentary self-produced called Feast of Friends. And one of the cameraman and production assistants on it was Harrison Ford. And there's this picture of it's gonna be hard to see, but this is Jim Morrison right here, and right behind him is Harrison Ford.
Oh, okay.
But
cool.
Yeah, it's just a cool little part of rock and roll history. But yeah, for 10 years Harrison Ford was doing like all this production stuff. And you know, technically the whole story is crazy about when he got Star Wars and he was in Coppola. He was a carpenter and Coppola needed him to work on The Office. So he was working on his office for him. And he was talking about this movie, Star Wars. And George is like, well, you know, we're not bringing anyone back from American Graffiti. for this
Oh,
my
wow.
new movie. And he's like, okay. So then he's there working on it, and Lucas comes in with Richard Dreyfuss for Star Wars, who was just in American Graffiti. And Harrison was like, hey,
Yeah, hold up.
and then they eventually let him read lines with people to,
Okay.
and he was so good at reading the lines with them. They're like, maybe you should just be the Han Solo. And then even this one,
Wow.
he didn't want to give him Indiana Jones. He's like, I don't want Harrison Ford to be my guy in all my movies. And they're like, yeah, but it kind of works pretty good. And we gotta because originally I think it was gonna be Burt Reynolds. And
Oh, nah, Bert, nah.
yeah, he already had the part, but he turned it. He couldn't do it because the contract for his TV show wouldn't let him do the movie at the time. Like at the time, it was real
Right,
difficult.
it's a conflict.
Yeah, so that's why he was already cast supposedly to play the fucking part.
Wow. Burt Reynolds, no way.
Especially
Butch
yeah,
Cassidy and the
dude,
Sundance Kid. Yeah, hell no. He would not have been in it. Harrison Ford was perfect as Indiana Jones. That was a great casting. It worked out fine. I'm glad it did. Because if Burt Reynolds would have been Indiana Jones, there would have only been one Indiana Jones.
There would have been
movie.
many. Yeah.
They would have had to change it. It would have had to change it into like a James Bond type of deal where it's like, this was the Burt Reynolds Indiana Jones. And then here's the Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones, right? Like,
which is your favorite one
of Indiana Jones? Man, I mean, come on, the Temple of Doom, right? Like everyone loves that one.
That was corny. That's a little cornier though.
Well, I like because I just saw it recently. I like the whole goblin, the looking for the goblin of youth or whatever, and the Nazis and the whole thing. And it's like, and
that's the Last Crusade.
Oh, that's the Last Crusade. I'm saying, my bad.
Your Temple of Doom is the one where the Indian cult.
Yeah,
there's a funny time where he goes, he did say something because I drank the blood of Carlee.
yes. Okay, so I like that one, and then I like the other one.
Yeah, my favorite is Last Crusade with Sean Connery because him and Sean Connery are so goddamn funny together.
Yes, that's what it is. So the Last Crusade first, and then the Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
because I remember watching the Temple of Doom.
Well, Raiders of the Lost Ark's always supposedly people love that one too.
Oh yeah, I love that one too. I love all.
I mean, the first, they're all the first three are really good.
Well, I mean, that first one, the Temple of Doom is fun because the monkey heads show up and.
But as a kid, that was the cool one.
Yes, right. Yeah. And I always thought it was kind of funny that old girl was like, she was like, Indy, are you coming over? Right. And he comes over and she's like, and he's like looking for a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. She's just like, what are you doing? And he's like, reach in the hole and pull the lever. Right. And it's all this stuff crawling all over. She's
what's
like,
cool that one too. Yeah. The final scene on the bridge is really cool too.
Oh wait,
when he's on he's on the rope bridge and they got him on both ends, and he's like, he starts cutting the fucking rope bridge down, dude. And there's all those crocodiles below him.
Yes. Oh man, that one's good, dude. I mean,
it's cool, but yeah. All right, buddy, wrap us up.
All right, man, today was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna keep doing it. So, if you did please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next week. That's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele. And this is Spitballin. Peace.